Welcome to Salty Birdie Golf. I'm your host, Robert Earl, and if this is your first time here at the channel, I'd like to welcome you. I created this channel really as a way to document my recovery and my improvement. Let me take you back to March of 2020 as the COVID crisis was starting. No, I fortunately did not catch COVID. But what did happen is I suffered a debilitating bout of vertigo and dizziness. It had me incapacitated for about a month and a half. During that period of time, I sought out as much medical help as I could get, but because of COVID, a lot of the medical facilities were delayed in their appointments, were delayed in letting people come in. So I went through all of the basic procedures of doing the Epley maneuver where they move your neck and head, trying to get the crystals in your ears to resettle. I had folks that reached out to me on Facebook, providing me with remedies as to things that they had done in order to take care of their vertigo. It wasn't until, I also went through a period of time where I also had a sinus surgery trying to relieve some pressure from the ears. Once I was able to get back into the medical system and be able to find out what was actually going on, I was diagnosed with a vestibular stroke. I had a stroke in the back part of my brain where the visual and audio connectors come in, and the brain was basically confused. The information that's coming in from the ears and the eyes were being translated in such a way that I was dizzy. And to this point right now, if I stand for a period of time, I'll start to sway. I'll have fits of dizziness. I'm currently enrolled in visual therapy that at the start of the year I'll be going to twice a week. So it really has been something that has been an adaptation. One of the most difficult parts about it is that you'll see me and you won't think that there's anything wrong. It's not that I had a stroke that causes any sort of visual impairment or anything like that from someone looking at me from the outside. But what it does do is it wears on my brain, it wears on trying to do tasks, forget reading on the computer, forget spending any amount of time having to go through detailed information such as that. So what does all this have to do with golf? Part of this is I've golfed in the past and have frankly really enjoyed it. So as part of a therapy and with COVID, keeping people inside, golf is one place where we can get out, we can socially distance from others, we can be safer or as safe as possible, and it provides me with an opportunity for therapy. So as I stopped and looked at it, I knew that I needed to do some things to improve. I needed to do some things in the areas of health, in the areas of wellness, in the areas of diet. And so I figured, well, why not just document this? Why not take you along for the journey? So I would love for you to comment if you've faced anything similar, if you've had vertigo, if you've had dizziness, if you've had anything along the line with like the Epley procedure or even a vestibular stroke, post-traumatic stress disorder that has affected you. And I want to show you maybe golf can provide an opportunity for you to get out, do some therapeutic things. I'm going to share with you my journey on wellness, fitness. There, I just took a step backwards the wrong way right then, so I was feeling it. You would never notice it, but I knew that I was starting to go a particular way. Part of my therapy is catching that so that I didn't end up falling completely over to go through this. If you're facing anything like this, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. I'm also going to share with you some of my tips, my items that I find out as I go through the golfing journey, the fitness journey, working out, diet, exercise, those types of things. So I'm here at the Dunedin Golf Club in Dunedin, Florida, just on the coast, just north of Clearwater, Florida, in the St. Pete, Tampa Bay region. Beautiful day. It's only 3 days after Christmas, if you could believe that. So definitely live in the right environment as well to take advantage of the spectacular items here. Through the videos, I'll also show you a lot more about this particular course. It's a Donald Ross design course, originally opened and designed in 1927. So you get to learn a lot more about that. So let me take you on a journey right now. Here's a hole that I happened to play here on the course down by Curlew Creek yesterday. If it's your, again, first time here, welcome. Love for you to subscribe, get notified so that you can follow along on the journey. So take care. One of my favorite holes here at Dunedin Golf Club because it runs along Curlew Creek, and it really shows part of the design and using the shape of the land here on this Donald Ross course that was built in 1927. You get an opportunity to see all types of wildlife along here. Parrots, cranes, pelicans on a nice day, especially here on a beautiful sunny Sunday. So because you have the creek, you also have the intimidation of now having to go across the creek on this par 5. Got the 250 marker left here. Gonna play it smart. I'm getting smarter here. Gonna play it smart. Little hybrid to do a layup, making sure that I clear the water over there. I don't think we got any roll whatsoever out of it right there. It does get a little wet down here. We'll take that. Probably should be about 80 yards left to the green. One thing I have to make a point of in the new year is really getting my club mapping down. I still don't have an idea, vague idea as to how far each club is going, especially as you make swing changes. There's difficulties with that. Swing around here, as I talked about, there's a salty birdie right there, resting after he had lunch or looking for his next meal there. Hard to believe that it's 2 days after Christmas, but that's the beauty of golfing and living here in paradise in Florida. So anyway, back to my club mapping. Is here I'm faced with a shot. I've got the 100-yard marker right over here as I walk towards my ball. So I'll pace it off, but I know I've got a front pin location here, so there's plenty of green to work with, but it's knowing what club that I'm going to actually utilize. So let's go through the process and see how I can do. Sitting 2 here on a par 3. We'll see if I can, now the mental part comes into it, we'll see if I can keep from screwing this up, right? So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Does this happen to you as well? A couple holes back, I put it over the green, and then I had trouble with the chip shots. So that was the difficulty, that I had over clubbed. But I also don't want to be short of the green because there's a upslope to be able to get to it, and I don't want to face the pitch. I want to make sure that I'm on the green, take my hopefully 2-putt, and be able to walk away from there. So I go ahead, I've grabbed a gap wedge. Choke down on it just a little bit too far for my sand wedge. My sand wedge is a 56 degrees, so I feel that that's going to be a little bit short, and come up a little short. But let's see how we do here. course, I talked about short and I talked about back, but I didn't talk about right. Still sitting pretty here. Gonna be on the edge of the green as we come up to the green. Put it right. I don't think I'm as far over as the bunker. A little difficult to see there. Green's not quite as deep as I thought. Should have made the reference, but there's so much information as I go through this, so much to have to pay attention to in the mind and to get it to actually slow down. And I did talk about where I was going to go, and it looked like I actually ended up doing both. I went right and long, so sand wedge would have been the correct play here, and exactly what I was worried about I'm faced with. I've got my pitch shot to have to be able to come back here to the green. Time for a couple deep breaths. Plenty of green to work with. Even if it goes past just a little bit, I'll have an uphill putt. Ran it past, so we've now got the uphill putt. So there it is, went past the hole. I'm down in the little swale there. A little bit of a difficulty. I'm going to grab my putter though, take my medicine and go. Leaves me with a, oh my goodness, got about a 4 or 5 footer here. Take the bogey. I'm mentally completely with that wedge. Played myself out of this hole. Got to be able to slow down a little bit. You can probably hear it in me talking here. Got to take a deep breath. Got to be able to slow down. But you get so excited. We've hit a great drive. You put it in the fairway. So there you have it. A perfect drive. Perfect second shot. Left with the wedge into the green and end up making a bogey. Now this is where salty birdie comes in. Salty birdie is that feeling where you know that you're able to make the shot, but you don't make the shot, and therefore you end up cussing like a pirate's parrot. And this happens a number of times. Currently, I'm sitting at an 18 handicap with my rounds that I've come back and played. I have to work on improving that. Also have to work on my weight, 6'5", 280 pounds, and I don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be calling me anytime soon to play linebacker or offensive or defensive line. So I need to do some things to take care of my health. So hope you enjoy. Hit the subscribe button. Till next time, make it a great day.